The Hugo Boss Racing 2024 Fantasy mod has arrived to F1 Manager 23 by GLXFX, responsible for many of the best mods from F1 Manager 22 and already pumping out a bunch of brilliant mods for F1 Manager 23, such as this one, which takes the recent reported news that AlphaTauri will be rebranding to Hugo Boss next year, possibly titled Hugo Boss Balls Racing, which personally I think is a very silly name. But this mod applies this team branding to not just the car livery, but also to the drivers' race suits in-game, the pit crew race suits in-game, the race suit graphics in the driver market, and also the staff members. And even if you look on the left on the timing sheets, the little AlphaTauri logo is a Hugo Boss logo, although it is hard to read because there is no real official Hugo Boss racing logo at the minute, so it suffices. Right now I'm showing you gameplay of Daniel Ricciardo driving the car at AlphaTauri's home circuit of Emilia-Romagna, Imola. I think this concept livery on its own, you know, outside of the context of this game, on this car is really nice. It's really striking. The white and the black and the gold trimmings are really stand out. And you have the All-in sponsor, which I think looks nice on the current AlphaTauri livery anyway, but I think it really complements this livery concept. If you had a keen eye at the start whilst the car drove out the pit, even the pit boards have been changed. This GLXFX really goes above and beyond with these mods. I think this is an incredible mod. I cannot wait for the next year just to see what he makes, because again, I love this stuff in 22, and his 23 stuff is already blowing me away and probably the community away. Here we're taking a look at the onboard. You know, all this reminds me of the what's it called, the Apex GP, you know, the Brad Pitt film that they've been making recently of F2 cars. All kind of rich energy from this angle because you can't see the white, but look at on the halo, the carbon fiber and the gold trim is just a really well done texture, and you can also see the gloves of the race suit there as well, the odd Alpine star, whatever it's called. Here on the reverse onboard, you can see the spoiler that nicely has Hugo Boss imprinted on it, and I also really like what he did with the driver numbers, because the original 2020 AlphaTauri had the number, it didn't really pop, but with this mod, they're red, have a nice white outline on a white background. It really pops a lot more. You can see that 3 on Daniel Ricciardo a lot better. And in the practice session, Kevin Magnussen was very kind enough to drive behind me. I feel like because the All-in sponsor has been retained, it still has that like subconscious, oh, that's an AlphaTauri in front of me. You know, it's not a complete alien redesign. I think that is very well done with the red on the back of the spoiler instead of just Hugo Boss again. And finally, whilst we drive behind Zhou Guanyu, again, you can see the Hugo Boss on the rear wing, really pops. The white nose, I just think, again, out of the context of the mod, this is just a very nice livery, but this mod is as well integrated as you could possibly get in 23, really. You know, the modding capabilities of this game are not huge, it is mostly just textures, but it is really well done. And finally here we get just some nice footage of Yuki driving the Hugo Boss around. When compared to other cars, I feel like a lot of custom liveries in the F1 games, livery mods in the F1 games and the manager games, sometimes the modders do go a bit overboard with the colours. It doesn't look realistic, it shines too much, it just looks too fake. But when you look at this Hugo Boss livery in the mix, in the pack, it really does belong, and I kind of hope that next year, if we do see Hugo Boss on the grid, the livery is reminiscent of this. But yes, again, thank you to GLXFX for this great mod. I will put the race department page and the download in the description, and I will also put the F1 Manager 23 database editor GitHub in the description, because that is how you very easily move around drivers and change the calendar to make recording footage like this a lot easier. It wouldn't be able to be done without that tool. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I shall have some more mod showcases and reviews up for you soon. Goodbye.